up, guys, and welcome to another episode of the Huga Core Anime Podcast. I'm your host, Joseph Huga. This is my co-host,
It's your boy Flu,
and welcome to today's episode. Man, we decided to, try something. Everybody was talking about it, so we're like, okay, we'll see. It's kind of perfect for the show.
We might get in some trouble here, Joe.
Yeah, I think we might have a couple of hot takes, bro. There might be some hot takes on this one, but that's why it's our show and it's our opinions, and we can say whatever we want.
I've got nothing to say, but I've got so much to say.
I'm with you.
I'm speechless, but I have so much to say.
And we didn't talk about anything prior, so we're like, this is going to be like all fresh. So we're going to be talking about Cyberpunk Edge Runners that just came out, the anime adaptation for Cyberpunk that just dropped on Netflix.
Which, interesting thing, the show was announced and in development, maybe not in development, but it was at least announced that it was going to be created when the game dropped, or at least just before the game dropped.
Yep.
So this isn't like a new thing that they did after Cyberpunk. This was already planned. This was planned that Cyberpunk was already going to be a success.
That's true.
So that's something to keep in mind. In my eyes, that's what I think about a little bit. Mm-hmm. That's something to keep in mind.
Well, did you hear, I don't know if you know, but did you hear that it beat the most concurrent players recently?
See that. It's like over a million every day.
Or something like that, over Witcher. And it was insane. I was like, that's insane. Because this game
was DED
dead. It was DED.
That shit was almost dead on arrival.
But that shows, what we always talk about on the show is the power of anime.
Yeah.
You see what I'm doing?
Yes and no.
That shows exactly, because you do a movie, you can reignite hype, or you do a series, it reunites hype, and that's basically what happened.
But I got a little bit of a downside with that though, and that's why I said this was announced when the game came out.
That's true.
Okay?
That's true.
This was based off that Cyberpunk was already a pre-order success.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So I feel like in my eyes that takes away a little bit.
Okay.
Just a little bit.
That's fair.
Because they had to reinvent the fucking game. Rebuild the fucking game to make it up to par with the fucking show.
Yeah. And they dropped it right after an update, too. It's almost like they knew. That
This was like a planned thing, it seems like, just to bring back the giant player base that they never fucking got.
Yep.
Just to bring the game just to make it worth the fucking struggle that they went through to make the game.
I'm with you.
That's all I gotta say about that.
So...
let's get into the show.
No, but to what you said, though, to go into the show, because that's kind of want people to understand like where we're coming from. So to what you said, I completely agree. You know, I bought the game, I streamed it live when it first came out. You remember, I played Corpo, and I was like, feels like there's something missing here. And then, you know, everything started coming through and stuff. And then the story in the game was really good, but I could tell it was like they're trying to fit a 2-season anime in one season, right? Things were chopped out of it. You know, like the romance with Jackie, stuff with Jackie and your boys and stuff like that, and then just the different choices didn't lead as much as you want.
They had the plan,
right?
Okay, they couldn't deliver on time.
Yeah, it's because of Suits, supposedly.
Yep. Well, I don't even say supposedly. It's just that's what it's been. It's historically been Suits.
You're right.
Not all. Well, in recent memory, it's been Suits.
Yeah, I think you're right.
But I won't even get into that.
Okay.
Whatever.
I respect. I respect it.
It's gonna take away from the show.
I respect that. So because of that, I went into this show not really expecting much.
Yeah.
In the Netflix show, everybody says they like everything, blah blah blah. But you know how we are. We don't go off the hype. We don't go off the hype. And he is
negative by nature.
I wouldn't say you're negative. I'd say you're a critic. You're critical. You analyze things.
I have a problem, right? And you guys know this, I'm sure, by now. I like certain things.
Yeah.
I just like a lot of things.
Yeah.
If there's some dislikes, I'm not gonna like it.
Right.
Like, I can't get around a lot of the dislikes because they're too bad in my eyes.
And when we watched it together, I was kind of like, man, he's just kind of being a little harsh on this. But I watch everything with you, so I know how you are.
Yeah.
Certain things happen, and I was like, okay, that's going to trigger him. He doesn't like that. You know, this thing happened. I'm like, okay, you know, I get it. And then I sat back and I looked at it again. And I was just kind of like, you know what? I kind of don't like those things either. So let's get into it. Cyberpunk Edge Runners.
I'm sorry. Can I say one more thing?
Yeah.
I like to be wrong. I like when people prove me wrong. because it makes me feel dumb, and I need that. I'm not even kidding. I need that shit.
So leave it in the comments.
I think we all do.
Yep.
Like, we all need a little humble pie every once in a while. Call me the fuck out. Please tell me I'm wrong. Doesn't matter if I am or not, how I view it. Just tell me I'm fucking dumb sometimes.
I'm with you, bro.
And, I mean, you were doing that in this show. You're like, dude, just shut the fuck up. Watch the show. I'm like, but this is going to transition later in the series, too. Like, we're going to be seeing this shit the entire time. And it's not going to change. It's just going to get worse.
Yeah.
That's when I get problems, though. Yeah. That's when I start to have problems. Sorry, but let you get back anyway.
No, but you're right, though. But so like, when we say that, like, we always say we enjoy the comments and stuff because we like seeing the different perspectives. So in case we're wrong. So, Cyberpunk Edgerunners, right? I'm sure everybody's seen it. If you haven't seen it, I'm just going to... Here's the quick spoiler-free before we get into it. This is actually an anime review. This is not a recommendation.
I would still recommend it.
I'd recommend it too. It's a fun,
dude.
But this is more of a review.
Yeah.
I'd recommend it too. We'll give it our rating like we normally do, but this is more like a review. So, story follows a kid, a street kid, basically named David. His mom works in basically the hospital unit.
Trauma response?
Trauma response. No, because she's not for trauma team. She's not for trauma team. She's like a part of the hospital unit.
Is she? I thought she was a little bit something.
She loaded him in an ambulance.
That's what. Yeah.
So she's
That's right.
So she works for that, and she works like a doubles and triples and all that shit, so she can get him to corpo
works
school.
Works his ass off. Yeah.
So he can he's in Osaka corpo school. And so because she wants him to have a better life than being on the streets, and if you play the game,
Night City.
You know how Night City is.
Hey, Night City's Night City.
Night City is Night City.
Hey, you fuck up, you're fucked up.
Yeah, exactly. Quote of the day, for Night City. So she's doing all these things for him, and basically he's in school with these those little preppy fucks. Everybody knows what those type of characters are, those type of people because they exist in real life. And they never really liked him because he's not as rich as them.
He's not their demographic.
Exactly.
How shit goes. It's how shit goes.
Yeah, it is. Which is why I like. This is why I like some of the writing. I just feel like at a certain point it just kind of went woo. But I'm gonna get into that. So that happens, and then he's working with Ripper Doc and stuff like that.
Which that's cool. I love that they bring some. I do want to say I thought this was gonna be like Keanu's story, his character
story.
Thank
God it wasn't.
Thank God it wasn't, bro.
I like Keanu Reeves and I like
his
Johnny
character
Silverhand,
didn't need the story. Like that was the game. That was the game. I'm glad this is its own
a separate thing. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. That's exactly my point. So we follow him.
It did take like aspects of the certain characters out of the game that you would recognize and like had a very strong purpose in the game.
I agree.
And made references to the game and stuff like that.
Which parts of the city you know it very well.
Absolutely.
The apartment complex, when he's walking down the street, when he's on the train. We've all been in all those areas of Night City. The ads and stuff, we've seen all that stuff. I love that song, by the way. So it pretty much follows him. Basically, him and his mom dies. His mom dies from a shooting because Night City is from a car accident. But it was due to the shooting.
Yeah, I mean, how she didn't get torn up in the shooting,
I don't know. Brother, like,
bunch of
bullets in front of her face.
I still think she got hit in that,
too.
But
she's
it is what it is.
Yeah, and then
like David gets down, but she can't get down. She's driving the car.
I was like, shit. So, and that causes the car wreck and everything, and of course, trauma team shows up. Like, oh, this person ain't got no insurance. Fuck them.
No platinum insurance.
Platinum insurance. Oh well, get back in the truck. And then so. He gets his mom to the doctor, basically, and the doctor says she's stable, she's good, operation. He's like, all right, come back and get her tomorrow. He's like, well, can I visit her? He's like, you don't have that in your part of your medical package. He's like, all right, fuck. Because, everything in Night City is based on money. Like, it's Eddie's. Like, if you ain't got the Eddie's.
Like real world. Yeah, like the real world.
Like real world, right. Except for insurance is clearly here. This is what's scary. There's a lot of things.
Like, are you saying, like, in Night City, insurance is actually a scam?
Yeah, I'm saying it's. There's parts of this that is too close to home. You know what I'm saying? And that shit is scary.
There's some shit that makes too much sense in that city. And
like when you make insurance only for the wealthy.
When you got platinum level insurance.
You know what I'm saying?
You got no insurance.
That can revive you basically from death. But if you don't, you know what I mean? But if you don't have, so that was very interesting. I hope people are paying attention to that out there.
That shit sucks.
That shit does suck. I was like, fuck, dude. So, and then basically he goes to school, he gets in another fight or whatever. And then his mom dies, and then he's like, "Fuck!" And then he puts her in this urn, dude. And this is what I'm talking about when I talk about the writing in the beginning of this was so good.
Dude,
the
first
feel,
two episodes,
you can
dude.
feel. I say up to 4, but you can feel it. You can feel the emotion. Despair.
It's the emotion.
You're like, fuck, man. Not everybody in this life has been rich. So if you're poor,
the decisions make sense.
Yeah.
The decisions make sense.
Yeah.
The decisions make sense.
You see where he's gonna get into that later.
Yeah.
So not everybody's been rich, right? So everybody's come from a different growing up. Not every, you know what I'm saying? Especially like
people struggle.
Yeah. So everybody knows that feeling, and you could feel that. You can feel that through him. He gets there, he's fucking evicted. Like you can see his rent's up, and he's like, "Fuck, mom." His washer machine doesn't work.
Everything is so melancholy at the beginning. It's fucking amazing.
Yes, it is.
Everything is so much just like, hey, this shit's only gonna get worse.
Yeah,
and it does. But like,
it's Night City.
It's Night City, dude.
Right.
Like,
right.
And
I like that.
Well, your mom was fine yesterday, but she didn't have platinum insurance, so we had to kill her today.
Yeah. Yeah, because I'm like, dude, how is she stable and then she just dies? I'm like, organ donor or some shit like that. Yeah.
That's what it is. A platinum donor needed
Night
something.
City, bro. You need a liver. I know a guy. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, this may or may not be your mom's ashes, but here's a tub for you.
Yeah, here's a tub. Yeah,
it's got her name on it.
I was like, fuck, dude, that shit was painful. So, okay, so then you get that, and then he's basically like, he gets a call from the school, and the school's mad because he beat that guy up and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I mean, fuck those rich guys, man. Fuck them. I don't care. So
they started it, and they didn't get in trouble for fighting.
Fuck them.
Fuck you.
Fuck them. So I was like, cool, and I'm good with that. And then he's like, you know what, man? He sees it. He gets his mom's belongings, and in the belongings of her jacket, she had the Sandevistan, which is actually the fucking back mod, the military back mod from the guy she put into the ambulance, which actually happens to be the guy that he took the BD of, the brain dance of before she got home, which is actually fucking crazy.
Yeah.
That all happened.
And it's like
once.
The scene's the same as
all
that
stuff.
Exactly
the same. And so,
but that also raises the first question in the anime: why the fuck does she still have this?
Well, I think she was parting motherfuckers and then selling them.
They allude to that later on. It's like, oh, you're glorious.
Yeah, but I'm just thinking like, okay, well, she's been doing this for a minute for money, which hey,
like this is how she's been paying for this shit because like obviously just being
like, bro, how is she paying for him to go to Arasaka?
You could be rocking. This is Night City, so she got to be selling something, right?
Right, so something.
Turns out it's a Sandevistan.
It's Sandevistan instead of everything.
Luckily, which I love that about Night City, about this show. Yeah. They don't just. It's not all just like that aspect of Night City, which I like that they avoided that for the most part. I mean, obviously it's Night City, so you got to see something, but I do like that they made it more story driven, not so much just
sex, drugs, alcohol. Right.
Not so much just like this is Night City. This is what fucks people over. Because that's not what fucks people over. Right. It's chroming the fuck up that fucks people over.
It's chroming the fuck up and the decisions you make. Life is
about decisions, man.
Yeah, it is. But Night City is like Las Vegas, bro. Like you only get one chance to make that decision, and then that leads to a whole fucking.
You're already down the hole.
So that happens, and then he gets chromed up. He tries to sell it at first to pay the debt, his mom's debt, and keep going to school. And then he's like, you know what, fuck it, I don't care about this shit anymore. And then the bully was talking shit about his mom being how she's paying for him to get in and basically calling her a hooker and all this stuff. He's like, I'm about to fucking beat his ass. He goes to the Ripper Doc like, hey, I want to put this shit in. The doc's like, I'm not putting that shit. That's military grade. It's just to fry your brain as soon as you do it.
Hey, boy, you can't afford that.
My man Buon Swamdi.
Yep. He's like, all right, well, when it kills me, you can have it.
Yeah, and he's like, all right, fuck it, I'll do it. And then
switches hands.
Yeah, switches hands. So he chromes him up, which in Cyberpunk, when you get chromed up, you're always under anesthesia.
You are fucking
not. So when I saw him get chromed up like that, like live with no thing,
I will say later on when they take out his lungs, he'd be dead. But it's whatever.
He probably had the money then for the.
Well, it don't matter. He's dead. You take out the lungs, you're dead. Like
I don't know.
While he's awake, he can't breathe. He's dead. Like there's no. It explains the oxygen loss of the brain and why he's so fucking stupid later on this show. But anyways.
Yeah, I agree. We agree on that, by the way. So I'm like, okay, I've never seen that before, but that's fucking cool. Kind of gives a better aspect of the show. Now, like I said, he needs money. He runs into Lucy. He's seen her around town.
When you say run-ins, she's chipping.
She's chipping. She's stealing
people on the train.
Ejecting
and
people's
he just catches
chips.
her because he's fucking fast. He got the Sandevis stand.
Yeah, so he's fast.
Yeah.
So he runs into Lucy. He's seen her throughout the city for quite a bit and stuff like that. So it wasn't anything new. And then she kind of just gives him the rundown, basically. Yeah. And he starts working with her. Then she finds out that he's got the missing thing that everybody's looking for in Night City. Then she basically turns him over to
her crew,
her cyber crew,
yeah.
Kiwi, Maine,
Dorio,
and
Pillar, and Rebecca.
And Rebecca.
R.I.P.
Oh,
another thing
that's my girl. That's my girl. But Rebecca. So yeah, and so pretty much starts running with them, and we're gonna skip there's a lot of shit that happens. We don't have the time.
So much. I mean, it's only 10 episodes, but they throw. It's obviously just meant to be 10 episodes.
Exactly. We don't have the time to literally dive into everything like I want to. So I'm going to kind of go into some things real quick, and then I'm going to let you go on your things. First thing I want to go into is I liked the series up into about episode 4. I think I'm going to say 4 or 5 is really when I liked the episodes. And then after that, I just felt like everybody knows that there's no happy endings in Night City, and I'm okay with that. I am perfectly okay with that. There is no happy endings in Night City. I get that, right? But at the same time, for me, what bothered me is that how do you take this kid who sees the whole time the consequences of people's actions, and especially the crew's actions, especially the person that he looks up to the most, which is Maine, right? The leader of the crew. And he follows him. He's like puppy dog for him. When he first sees him, he's like, dude, that's the fucking guy I want to be when I grow up, type of shit, you know? And he watches him go through this transformation into cyberpsychosis. And he sees all this crazy shit that happens with him with the cyberpsychosis, right? And what causes it, right? And then to just fucking... I get why he took the hands, because he said, hey, something ever happens to me, these are mine, because Becca's brother got killed by a cyber psycho, and she took his hands and all that stuff.
I will say, that scene, I think...
was dope.
Well,
in my opinion.
I think that was meant to prove a point as to why David was constantly making his... Because, like, at any time, like, you're just gone. Like, that's Night City. At any point in time, you could just get blown the fuck to pieces by, a cyber psycho, anything. Yeah. I think... in my mind, thinking more on it over like the week or whatever, that's kind of how I tried to justify it, but I don't think it justifies it. But like, I feel like that's why that scene was in here, to kind of make him realize like the impact of what he's doing, like the actions that they're taking, like what their crew is doing.
I see what you're saying,
but doesn't
right. No, I'm with you now. That makes sense. Because for me, it just didn't make sense that he would, like, getting chromed up in Night City makes perfect sense, right?
Yeah.
But cyberpsychosis is very much a real thing, and everybody in the show was telling him and worried about it. And he witnessed it. So why the fuck would you continue to put more and more fucking chrome in your body, knowing damn well that, one, you know that you're losing it, because you can fucking tell.
Yep.
He's sitting there watching TV. He knows he's losing it. He knows he's slipping.
From the first time he used the Sandevis stand, he knew.
He knew the fucking consequences. He saw Maine die as a cyber psycho, right?
He has so much experience dealing with cyber psychos.
He fucking saw it.
Yeah.
He knows what caused it.
He knows the damage that it causes to everybody around them, too, that they care about.
That's the thing, too. Because the whole crew got fucked on that mission because Maine lost his shit due to cyber psychosis. He pulled Kiwi out of the fucking water.
Kiwi doesn't die. Dorio dies because of him.
Dorio dies because of him. Kiwi
dies because of him.
Almost dies because of him.
He almost kills her.
Unjacked her in the fucking net. You know what I'm saying? Lucy almost got fucked because of him.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Everybody almost died because of him, except for Rebecca
and Kiwi.
Pilar and Kiwi.
Yeah.
Well, no, Kiwi almost got killed by him too.
Yeah, Kiwi almost got killed, and then Pilar died because of the cyber psycho. Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? So why the fuck would David continue to do those things and put himself in the exact same fucking position when he had an opportunity to be better? That's what pissed me off.
Did you notice every single piece of chrome he put into his body was from a cyber psycho? Every single one.
I didn't notice that.
He only put pieces of chrome in his body that were from a cyber psycho.
Oh, I didn't notice that. That's crazy.
Like I can't stand that shit. I cannot stand that shit.
Yeah, so that pissed me off like a motherfucker because one, he was establishing, which I guess it means I like it. I guess, but I guess if it upsets me, then I guess I like it. Because like I get what you're talking about with the relationship with Lucy. So he hasn't got into his part yet. I'm literally almost done. So hang with me. I understand the relationship with David and Lucy, right? But in my opinion, Lucy was supposed to be that limit breaker for him that pulls him back and keeps him from being Maine. Because Maine had Dorio, but you could tell it wasn't
Dorio
like that.
Was different.
It was like the homie.
Yeah.
It wasn't like his lover.
Yeah.
And Lucy and David had a relationship, like a love relationship interest. And you could tell because when things happened to Dave, he got kidnapped and shit. Lucy was ready to kill somebody, and her rule is no murder.
Also, like, she's going through the what's it called? She's net running for him behind his back, literally saving his life while people are tracking him down.
Exactly.
That too.
That also triggers me because I'll digress in just 2 seconds.
Do what you gotta do, bro.
Okay, because I know yours is gonna be long too, but
I'm gonna try.
That triggers me because it's like, Lucy, you fucking know he's losing his shit. You seen him watching TV into nothing. You hear him. You see the shakes. You see the shivers. You see everything. You're fighting behind the scenes to keep him safe too. Fight in front of the scenes to keep him safe. Tell him he needs to fucking downgrade. Shut him down, and don't act like you don't have the ability. Shut him down and get him fucking dethroned.
That's a good point. I never even thought about that. She could shut him down at any
time.
Yeah.
Get him dethroned a little bit. He doesn't need to be fucking everything, but a little bit to give his mind a break before he goes in cyberpsychosis. And she doesn't do any of those things. And then he makes these bad decisions and ends up fucking dead and shit like that. And that bothers me. And so I'm going to let my shit go after this. But that is my problem with this series. I know there's no happy endings for Night City. But fuck, man. They literally made him do the exact same thing that he just got done with when he had a way better support system. And then Becca is an amazing character in this series. She's fun. She's lovable. Everything she does is cute and awesome, and it's not annoying at all, which is normally very hard to do
especially with that voice and stuff.
That type
of really
voice,
wasn't that annoying.
And like her character design, like the lolly-ish kind of character design thing they had going on for her. I liked her very much, and I thought Kiwi was pretty dope. Only thing I didn't like about Kiwi is she was smoking a cigarette through a mask when she doesn't have a face.
There's also no hole in the mask.
Yeah. How?
Same with she was drinking and doing this. There's no hole in the mask. I don't
know. Yeah. Maybe somebody can explain that to me, but I don't know. So
nitpicking.
So those are the things I didn't like, but the animation, the fucking
soundtrack,
the story up until 5, everything else was fucking godlike. I would definitely like to see another series, hopefully done better with some justice. Done better. But I think it was very, very good, and I liked it. Go ahead, Flu.
Yeah. First of all, I can't say, like, whoever voice acted for the English version for Lucy, kill yourself. Like, straight up kill yourself. Anybody that talks like that has no place in society.
Right.
Guys. Like, you can't talk like that and be an intellectual.
Right.
It's not possible.
Right.
You can't, like, I don't know. That kind of speech is just, I can't stand that at all. First of all, that's just the first thing. Secondly, the writing. From end of episode 2, I could tell you exactly what was going to happen, and I can't. If I can do that, that's a problem. Like, it's not well written if I can tell you exactly what the fuck is going to happen at the end of the show. 2 episodes in. Did I not say what was going to happen? Yeah.
You're notorious for that, though.
Unfortunately. So. But, like, that's just, like, that's poor writing.
I wasn't surprised.
That is poor writing in my eyes. Like, you cannot do that. Like, Overlord, I can't. I will guess what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. I'll be right partially, but then they'll do 30 other fucking things that I never even saw coming.
I'm with you.
So, that's, like, I can't stand. I call it lazy writing because it's lazy fucking writing. Okay? Life's about decisions. Okay? The whole purpose of Night City is to display everybody makes bad decisions and it ends poorly for everybody. Okay?
Yeah.
Unacceptable. That is unacceptable. I don't make retarded decisions all the fucking time, and I've had a tough life. I'm gonna say I've had a tough fucking life. I don't make shitty decisions around every fucking corner. Like every character that has been written in this show. First of all, David, cool, Chroma. I'm cool with the arm that he got from Maine. Like, yeah, you know that's what caused the cyberpsychosis and all this other shit. Go ahead, take it. You're going to lose your mind eventually. I'm good with it. But then you keep going. Okay? You saw how this shit affected not only Maine, but every fucking person around him. If you care about people, which he claims to fucking do, you don't do that shit. If you have a fucking brain in your fucking body, you don't do that shit. Lazy fucking writing. Okay? I have so much I feel like this got rushed. It was rushed, obviously, at the end. Like I said, when I said that this was planned when the series came out, it was only meant to be one season. This could easily be its own fucking series.
It could.
And it would be so much better written, I feel like, if it was an actual series.
I agree.
I would hope so. I don't know so. I don't have high hopes with how this was written, I'll be honest, but it doesn't matter. I liked Rebecca. I liked some of the side characters. It felt like they actually had a purpose in the story. They got killed, which made sense. But then it didn't fucking matter.
You're right.
Because they don't learn anything.
I know.
That is unacceptable to be showing these days.
I know.
I'm a very strong believer. You show shit in media these days, people are gonna follow it. It doesn't matter what the fuck it is, because look how stupid people are. They'll follow any kind of dumb shit as long as there's a lot of people following it.
Yeah.
So my worry with this show is so many people like it. They're going to be like, all right, well, my decision making, this is how it's going to end anyways. I'm going to just make dumb decisions. People are already making stupid fucking decisions. I don't need to deal with it more because I'm fed up with it.
I'm with you.
My thing is, like, I can't handle the laziness of the writing anymore. It's gotten, and it's not just this show, okay?
Right, we've talked about the mini shows. Shield Hero.
Exactly.
Horrible writing
and
for this season.
These things that are so popular, I feel like get a pass because they're so fucking popular.
I agree,
and
that's what happens, and that's what, and I'm glad you brought that up because I do want to state that just because like I don't want to trigger another like a whole nother tangent, but I agree with you. I think that people need to stop letting lazy writing and lazy shit happen, or messing with lore happen just for entertainment.
You don't get to change fucking lore.
Yeah.
Hey, Lord of the fucking Rings. Take fucking note. You don't get to change the fucking lore and then claim it as your fucking own.
That's right.
That is unacceptable.
I told you.
Fucking acceptable. It's not about goddamn race. It's not.
I told you.
You don't get to change the fucking lore.
I told you I trigger him, chat. I told you guys.
Anyways. Sorry. Anyways.
Lord of the Rings fan. If that was Star Wars, I'd be the same way.
Anyways. Well, they changed Lord of the Rings lore too.
Well,
the problem is people fucking accept it.
Yep.
You cannot accept this shit.
I'm with you,
bro. Supporting, accepting, and doing all this shit is making the problem significantly worse. Why the fuck do you think we're in this boat in the first place?
I'm with you, bro.
Come on.
I hear you.
Come on. I get that the show is not... I don't want to say the show is bad. It's just... It's lazily written. It's really well animated. The sound's fucking amazing.
Yeah, it is.
But the laziness in the writing... Yeah. I really don't... I hate that I keep calling it laziness in the writing because I don't know that it is that. I feel like they have a story that they want to get out. This is the way that they know how to deliver it because this is what's popular. If that makes sense. I don't like giving people passes for incompetence and just not fucking understanding things.
Like I said, man, I think because, to add to your point, right? I think because deep down we like it. And
I want to like it, but I can't stand the story writing.
Our problem is the way that it went. And don't get me wrong. We're not saying the story should be to how we want the fucking story to be. We're not saying that. We're not saying that.
Because we are wrong too. Yeah, we are also wrong, and we would not write a good show if we tried to.
People can have all the creative, whatever that they want. They're not saying that. But we are saying is when you build these characters and you build these lores and you put these other characters in this world in it.
It's an amazing world, and you waste the fucking potential.
Yeah, you can't just fucking. You can't just shit on it like that.
It's Night City, man. Anything can fucking happen.
Yeah.
So make anything fucking happen.
I'm with you.
Don't make it just about this. I get it's supposed to be a sad show. I didn't feel sad about a single fucking death in that show besides Rebecca. I'm gonna be honest.
And his mom.
I didn't even care. They didn't set her up well enough for me to be sad about her.
Yeah,
They didn't explain her backstory of how she was making money for the kid. Like, they just said, oh, working my ass off. So I immediately think she's a whore. It's Night City. So I don't feel bad for that. And then later they're like, oh, well, this is what she was doing and all this other stuff. I'm like, okay, that's sad.
Right.
She's already gone. We're already past this point. He's already making these stupid decisions. We're already past.
And that's what I was talking
matter.
about. That's what I'm talking about with like the cutting, the chopping, and the cutting and chopping of the story. It felt like there was gaps of information and stuff that was going on.
Maybe I just felt like the information
because it was rushed. It was rushed. It's like, okay, he went from zero because like he goes from being brand new to the crew to all of a sudden he's like taller.
He hangs out with Maine for 2.
Yeah,
well, they do the time
Lucy
skip
are clearly older.
Yeah.
Him and Lucy are clearly older, and they live together. You know what I'm saying? And all that stuff. Like,
nice ass apartment too.
That apartment was banging, and that was nice how she set that up for his mom right there.
Yeah,
that was nice.
Like, and I'm not trying to shit on. Like, I know I said Lucy's voice annoys me. I'm not trying to shit on her character overall. Yeah, I don't think she's.
He said like her voice. He liked her character though.
Yeah, you can't.
Her backstory is cool
like
too.
It was like, I still didn't feel sad.
But that's what I'm talking about though. When we talk about the writing, you could have. Like you said, it could have been a series. It didn't have to be a fucking 10-episode stop.
This is why I get so upset, man. Because it could be so many things, and it's none of those things. It is a waste of my fucking time. That is what it is. And that I cannot fucking stand. And I will not be, like...
I'm glad I watched it.
I am too, but, like, at the same
time...
I
wouldn't have found Rebecca, and I wouldn't, like... and I'm glad that it's giving life to the game because at the end of the day, anything that's giving life to my game, I'm gonna be honest.
I don't like that because it's not a good game and they fucked up the game. They fucked up the game, and it's not acceptable for them to get a pass.
I hear you. I'm not giving them a pass. Well, and I think that people are
playing the game.
People are giving it a pass, but I'm not giving it a pass. Okay. What I'm saying is I'm glad that this gave attention to the game because that way they can be a No Man's Sky, and they can say. You know, that one guy developer who's probably was working on it and doing all the patches by himself. Now he's not by himself anymore. And he's got fucking team. And he's like, okay, guys, this is my game. Y'all fucking left me, but now it's just, now you're back, and this is how this is game. And he
gets the rewards of putting up with that.
Exactly.
That's, like, I like that.
You know what I'm saying?
I do like that.
And I like that we're getting the updates. I want my money. I want my $60 I paid for Cyberpunk out of Cyberpunk.
I get that.
And if I don't have to pay for, I mean, if Cyberpunk Edge Runner gives that to me, then okay.
But it shouldn't.
But I don't like how it should have came out done in the first place. It shouldn't
take that and a year and a half later.
I agree. It shouldn't
or have 2 years later.
And that's what you're talking about with people being okay with shit. Yeah, it keeps causing problems like that.
And I'm going to say this now. I'm not supporting any shit like that anymore. I'm fucking done with it, dude. I'm fed the fuck up. If it's got any amount of bullshit in it that I will not tolerate, I'm not watching it. I don't care if it's an anime, real world thing. Like, there's so much shit. It feels like 90% of the stuff that's coming out these days, whether it be not so much anime, but a lot of other stuff, it's just so fucking bad. Well, so bad.
We talked about that, though. We talked about that in one of our previous podcast episodes where we talked about the copy and paste format that's going on
quality, right now. Or the current state of anime.
Yeah, it's a copy and paste format.
Which I think that's kind of the westernization of anime. I think has kind of caused that. I will say,
I agree with
which
that.
Is upsetting.
If you haven't seen the current state of anime video, it's gonna be right here. Okay, but definitely go and check that out. But yeah. So I don't know what time we are.
I do want to say one more thing. Yeah. One more thing.
Yeah.
People. Giving this shit a pass and all this other supporting this shit is why things are so fucking bad now. I don't get how people haven't understood that yet.
So what are you
when you pander to certain audiences, okay, that one are just don't fucking matter, first of all, because they don't contribute anything. So they don't fucking matter. I'm gonna say that. I understand what you're saying. They don't fucking matter if you don't contribute anything. If you're nothing but a fucking problem, you don't matter. Nothing that you say matters. It's just, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
And there's a lot of that in a lot of shows these days. There's a little bit of it in this one that I just don't put it in your show. Like, you don't need this shit. You just don't need it. Okay? Understand? You don't.
Okay.
It's making it worse. It's objectively worse. It's not just like an opinionated that it's worse. It's objectively making the story worse. It doesn't add anything. It takes away. That is objectively worse.
Okay.
Sorry, that's a separate tangent, but that's not as prevalent in this show, I will say. not trying to say about this show, it's just the current state, and I shouldn't have gone off on that tangent. But anyways,
that's fair.
The rating I would give this, the animation is amazing. I really like the animation. I really like the soundtrack was really good. I can't get past the story. I love that they incorporated some of the characters, like you see Faraday, you see the Ripper Doc, you see who's the dude with the gold and diamond face? You see a couple guys from the game.
Oh yeah.
Shoot, now I'm.
Fuck, I know exactly who you're talking
The guy
about.
that creates the BDs.
Yeah, the fucking what's his name?
Starts with a K, right?
I think so.
Either way, like I love that you see that, and it's like it's its own story within Night City outside of the game, the Cyberpunk game.
And I did like that they showed that the corpos have a instant trauma team.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
I
was always wondering.
Which
about
also
that.
shows like the revive and like you can just implant that into another body. Yeah. Like I said, they incorporated a lot from the game that was really cool. But the writing itself with the characters, just I can't stand that shit. I really can't.
I don't like how they wrote David. I'll agree with you. 100%.
Yeah, life's about choices and decisions. You make bad ones. That I don't need to see people making bad decisions because I see it every fucking day of my life.
Right. And
it's too many people to count, and I don't need to be seeing that on the screen.
Like we said, we're not saying that you have creative freedom to do what you want. But
absolutely, and again,
but it's like our show is to be honest. We're gonna be honest with our opinions.
How does this fucking progress anime? How does this help anything? It doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't. It helps the game, and that's not a good thing in my eyes because the game was a fucking mistake.
People are gonna argue with you.
In a decision that was fucking horrific.
They're not gonna argue with you.
It is what it is. And the only reason that and I said so the show was announced when the game was coming out, so it's not like they created the show just to bring the. I mean, they did a little. They did, but. It's kind of own thing separate from the game, and I feel like they're trying to create a universe off of this Night City. They're just doing a fucking terrible job. So my rating's probably going to be a 4 or 5
out of 10.
Yeah, out of 10.
4 to 5 out of 10.
And the only thing that saves it for me is the animation and soundtrack.
Okay, and I'm gonna give it a. I think I am going to give it a 6. I'm gonna give it a 6. I'm gonna give it it's a low 6. I'm gonna give it a low 6, and the reason why is I will give you credit. It wasn't terrible up until 4, but like I said, I could tell. I told you what was gonna happen after. Yeah, I can only give it a 6. I give it a 6 because, like I said, a lot of things didn't make sense for me. As far as like David's decisions and why other people didn't help him stop him from those decisions, and things like that. I wouldn't
say like Lucy tried, but not.
And Becca did too, but
it doesn't.
It was too late. They had plenty of time between them, and then Lucy's in the background doing shit, and when she should have been in the front, because he would have listened to her. I mean, he things like that. So that animation was godlike. The character designs was sick.
I will say the character design, like the chrome design, and all that stuff, it was really good. It was really good.
That was probably one. That was probably one of the dope. I can hear Mrs.
I know.
I know. So she's making me laugh. Maine was probably one of the coolest black cyberpunk characters I've ever seen. That wasn't forced into the story.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he wasn't forced. Like I don't like it when they like insert black people or whatever just to do it. And I didn't feel like that was him. He was just like the leader. Like he's like Black Lagoon. He's just like what's his name from Black Lagoon? Oh, the fuck is it? Oh, Dutch. Dutch is his name.
Fucking straight out of Red Dead.
Yeah. So I like that. So that was very cool for me. I was cool with that. And then I like the different clothing that each characters were wearing. I like that they showed that their parts were interchangeable. They really showed Night City. I will say they really showed the people getting jacked off on the street, all that shit. Yep.
You saw them in their own worlds, like that's Night City. Trash,
smoking, doing
drugs. My
my
boy's literally jumping off of 2 stories into a trash heap because he fucking can.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
All right.
Things blocked by the guy with the baseball bat, It was probably a part of a gang.
It was very much Night City.
You could feel the Night City.
It was Night City. Yeah.
So that's why I'm giving it a 6 out of 10.
I'm just so disappointed in the storytelling.
That's my final rating. That's my final rating. Okay, so wrap it up real quick. Thank you guys for commenting, and subscribing. We appreciate it. definitely leave us some comments. We know we have some hot takes here that we're talking about with this, and but we don't give a fuck. But we definitely want to hear what you're saying, though.
Disagree with
you
us?
you might put something we don't know. There's been times where people
Here's
put
what I would love.
comments.
Here's what I would love. I would love for somebody to, in the comments, explain the decision-making process and why that's acceptable.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, explain that.
And saying it's Night City is not an acceptable answer.
Yeah, I agree.
And trauma is not an acceptable answer.
Yeah.
Okay?
That's not
I'm sorry. That's like...
Oh.
I don't accept that.
I will take all Rebecca memes. All Rebecca memes and art on my Twitter page. You can DM that to me or send it to me on Twitter at Hugo Corpse Gaming.
Was that?
We almost lost power.
Ooh.
Hugo Corpse Gaming. We're gonna go ahead and wrap this up on Twitter. Like, comment, subscribe.
I saw an amazing one. It's like proper outfit when greeting somebody at the door. Underwear, gun.
Exactly.
Underwear, Glock.
I love that, like, dude. That's why I love her, dude. She's amazing.
She was honestly the only like decently written character in my opinion, and she had her own issues still.
She did,
but it is what it is. I loved her.
So thank you guys for watching. We appreciate it. Sorry we're late on this episode. I'd like to apologize. I went out of town. I was in Atlanta. I was meeting my Final Fantasy guildmates for the first time. We did a real in-person meetup, so that was very cool. They're very cool people. So thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time. Pitchforks and whatever you want to do, but put it in the comment section. Peace.